Hello, hello. 3 people waiting on me. Only 1 like. Can the other 2 go ahead and hit the like button for me, please? I would greatly appreciate it. Greatly, greatly. How we doing tonight? Oh my goodness. How we doing? I've been trying to hold tight. How long are we gonna have to go through this, y'all? I mean, we jumped from Diddy. Well, I jumped from Tyree Nichols in Memphis to Diddy. Diddy to Trump. That's a whole tsunami, ain't it? 2 very disappointing. Hell, it may be 3. By the courts, Tyree Nichols, the police, found not guilty on the state charges. Now they putting off the federal charges, the sentencing. Then Diddy. And it's fascinating to me because he got off on the most serious charges as far as being convicted, but they want to use the evidence that was not used in trial against him in his sentencing. I mean, rightfully so. Do what you do. Do what you do. Yeah, because I believe the judge, based on his instructions, he should have been found guilty, but he wasn't. So he kind of stuck between the rock and the hard place. But that is the reason why he keeps denying him the opportunity to bond out. Because he paid somebody off. And he know that they was deliberating and talking before they were supposed to. And he knows that he had number 25 who just absolutely refused an hour into reading the instructions, decided that he just couldn't follow the judge's orders. He ain't give shit. So all of those things are factored in why Diddy can't go home. And if he could give him more time, he would. Now you see that mounted up against him with this new acting, what? Prosecutor? Y'all please excuse me. I mean, I am tired. I almost didn't sign up today to come back this evening, but I had to. I was listening. It's just so much going on, y'all. So many lies, so much deceit. I mean, so many predictions, so much corruption. I was telling someone today, based off of what we, the tea sippers, have learned these last few days, seen with our own eyes, learning about this MK Ultra Um, what else? Old girl daddy, her being moved. The other guy with the modeling agency, Jean-Luc, is that his name? Out of Paris. All of these human trafficking or traffickers who either knew too much or wanted to get out. Excuse me. For some reason, unallow themselves. I heard another one not too long ago without y'all. I think I forwarded it to myself that mysteriously unalive themselves. We're gonna talk about it. Then when they talk about Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, dad, the tycoon, yeah, he could have possibly either been pushed or there's a chance that he could have unalive. It's just but I ain't gonna mess with that one. I don't trust her. Shit. Who was on the boat with him when he had this heart attack and fell overboard? How you gonna be at the edge of the boat and and just fall over? Why you just didn't fall down? How you fall over? Ain't there rails on the boat? I mean, I'm just asking. Hey, Dwayne. Hey, Cynthia. But anyway, all of this type of stuff, it's just way too deep. And all I can think about today is, I don't remember who it was. It was some time ago. And they mentioned the New World Order. And my eyebrow went up. And I think I remember saying, I don't know what I said. I kind of acknowledged it. I think I said, I don't know if people are ready for that. But the more I read, the more I listen to, and the more that it's uncovered, and I'm seeing how Trump is moving and how people are looking over things, making excuses for him, making light of it, foreign affairs, lining the pockets, population control. Hell, I can see it. I ain't gonna even lie. I am not gonna lie. I can see where this is going. Y'all, please hit the like button. It's 149 people in here, 8 minutes in, and y'all cannot hit the like button. Please double tap your screen on your phone or hit the thumbs up. I know I'm making sense. I already know I am, because I know I got good sense. Now, I'll play slow. I'll play dumb. Sometimes things, sometimes you have to pace how you move. Sometimes you have to park things. Sometimes you got to park it, and you got to watch the body language of the actions of people, or the body language of policies being overlooked, policies being accepted that shouldn't be, moving forward when things need that. Because there's no way, how really, they should not have started the real process of impeachment. Now, I don't know if these numbers with the economy is going to do it, but how else did they expect it to go? I'm, I mean, he's not even supposed to be doing tariffs. Companies are closing. You're deporting people, workers. I guess he thought the people would just gonna run to those jobs that had been abandoned by way of ICE and deportation. I mean, what? How, what jobs have? What jobs was supposed to be created to make the numbers go up and make the economy better? Everything he has done is to set the economy up to fail. Right? I mean, did I miss something? But anyway, I yeah, it's just way mind blowing. And the lies, it's the lies for me. It's the outright blatant lies. He has to have dementia. He has to have some mind altering, diminishing ailment going on. Why in the world would you insist on bringing up Epstein as a political opportunity to win the presidency, knowing good and damn well you all over the files? Why in the world would you bring it up, throw it out there like that, dangle it, a carrot over somebody's head, knowing good and damn well you was all over it? Yeah, now, so, yeah, Bill Clinton, you know, he may have been on Epstein, but, yeah, he's not an active president. Can't impeach him. You can embarrass him. You know, you may can even bring him up on some charges. But, sir, you president right now. Oh, I forgot. Y'all have an agreement that whatever retarded shit you do, they just gonna look over it. They gonna go with the flow and they gonna act like they don't see it, and they just gonna let you do whatever you want to because you gonna make these cuts for them. You gonna make the wealthy wealthier and the poor. Okay, so it don't matter what you do, we gonna back you, we gonna push you, we gonna put everybody in place where we can overtake, overrule. We are just about to, ain't that leading to the new world order? I mean, Lord, that's still gonna lead us right there, right? So I don't remember who said it to me. And I heard you when you put it in the comments, but I promise you, I see it. Absolutely. And gotta give it to Kamala.
I mean, that's a simple mistake that anyone who had a long personal friendship with Jeffrey Epstein could have made, you know.
She tried to warn us. Hold on, let's be reminded. Dang sure tried to warn us. Let's hear this man right here right quick.
Who has been for you the best American president of your lifetime, and who's been the worst?
In my lifetime,
Now, who is he?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Knowing
Too much competition, I'm afraid.
for the worst.
I know you're not a massive fan of Donald Trump. How do you feel about him running again?
No, if he runs again, it'll be a disaster for the world.
Can you hear
For
him?
many reasons. For one thing, Trump, as you saw during his first time, he has two commitments. One commitment is to himself. He's
Facts.
a megalomaniac.
Megalomaniac.
All that concerns him is me. The other commitment is to serve corporate power and great wealth abjectly.
Corporate power and great wealth.
Achievement was a huge gift tax gift to the ultra-wealth, ultra-rich, and the corporate sector, nothing else. But he is a major climate denialist. He denies that global warming is taking place. He wants to maximize the use of fossil fuels, including the most dangerous of them, and to eliminate regulations which might mitigate the catastrophe. That's a death sentence for the human species. Domestically, he's made it very clear that he wants to institute what we would properly call a proto-fascist state, eliminate the civil service. Since the mid-19th century, like every other democratic society, the United States has had a non-partisan civil service which does most of the administration, which keeps the society running. Britain has the same. Others have the same. Trump has made it explicit that he wants to eliminate it, replace it by loyalists who put in power. That undercuts what remains a functioning democracy. We can go on. It would be a colossal disaster, and it's not unlikely.
Who has been for you the best American president of your lifetime, and who's been the worst?
In my lifetime, FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
And the worst?
Too much competition, I'm afraid.
I know you're not a massive fan of Donald Trump. How do you feel about him running again?
No. If he runs again, it'll be a disaster for the world, for many reasons. For one thing, Trump, as you saw during his first time, he has two commitments. One commitment is to himself. He's a megalomaniac, a psychopath. All that concerns him is me. The other commitment is to serve corporate power and great wealth abjectly. His one legislative achievement was a huge tax gift to the ultra-wealth, ultra-rich, and the corporate sector, nothing else. But he is a major climate denialist. He denies global warming is taking place. He wants to maximize the use of fossil fuels, including the most dangerous of them, and to eliminate regulations which might mitigate the catastrophe. That's a death sentence for the human species. Domestically, he's made it very clear that he wants to institute what we would properly call a proto-fascist state, eliminate the civil service. Since the mid-19th century, like every other democratic society, the United States has had a non-partisan civil service which does most of the administration, which keeps the society running. Britain has the same. Others have the same.
Y'all do know that Trump was a Democrat. I run. It got pretty deep tonight, y'all. I ain't even know. Okay.
I will always treasure your debate with Trump. That was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest rhetorical performances I've.
Oh, sorry. That was my fault, y'all. I'm sorry. I was trying to set it up so we could see. Here we go.
I will always treasure your debate with Trump. That was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest rhetorical performances I've ever seen. You smoked him like a ham.
Thank you.
I just want to remind everybody, you warned everyone about the future under our present president. You said he would prosecute his political enemies. He would cut Medicaid, Medicare. He would ignore court orders. He would alienate our allies. He would give massive tax cuts to the rich. And I know you're not here to say, I told you so. But would you like to?
But let me just say this. You are correct that I did predict a lot of it. Stephen, what I did not predict was the capitulation. I didn't predict that.
People would roll over for this president.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. And perhaps it's naive of me, there who has seen a lot that most people haven't seen, but I believed that on some level, you know, there should be many who consider themselves to be guardians of our system and our democracy who
failed
capitulated. And I didn't see that coming.
I will always treasure your debate with Trump. That was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest rhetorical performances I've ever.
You didn't expect that either, Sutra?
I will treasure your debate with Trump. That was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest rhetorical performances I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I
like guess, yes, yeah, but I guess we had to expect it because he shouldn't have never been able to run, being a convicted felon, to have the highest job position in the U.S. when some of the most simplest jobs you can't have nowhere near that amount of felonies. So, you know, and after what he inserting the I mean, it's so many things he did even while he was president before him leaving after losing, and then okaying for him to come back. We should have known, but let's keep listening. We should have known that they had a plan bigger, and it didn't have anything to do with the people. It had everything to do with the pockets of the rich. And the traffickers, I guess. I mean, now we know it's more to lining their pockets and how you know, what is going on underground behind the scenes that, you know, seem like been going on for years with this human trafficking. I mean, just the slap in the face with the people that he is putting in cabinet positions. How is Lawrence Taylor going convicted? I mean, a registered convicted and registered child molester. And he will be over facilitating with minors. What? He has more traffickers, molesters, in position on board with, working, making mega, he's employing some of the, well, it's, that type stuff, y'all. The Purge. No, no, I don't think I watched The Purge. I don't even like the name of it. But I guess I need to. I don't know. This is the craziest shit to me. And they are going along with it. That's the mind-blowing part. They are going along with it. And with people who got sense, they acting like they don't have sense. I know I ain't crazy. I know these people see this shit. And then they act like, well, we don't want to give the names because we want to protect a lot of innocent. You don't care that about the victims. What are you talking about? What? You want to protect your partners. You want to protect the people who are up under your pyramid in this human trafficking a business network. That's what you're doing. You want to protect the other predators. You are protecting the predators. In essence, you're saying forget the people. We got to make money off them. What the hell? I don't know what they talking about. This is our investment. We pay $100,000 plus a year to be a part of this network. Oh shit!
I just want to remind everybody, you warned everyone about the future under our present president. You said he would prosecute his political enemies. He would cut Medicaid, Medicare. He would ignore court orders. He would alienate our allies. He would give massive tax cuts to the rich. And I know
he's so predictable. He doing everything she said he was gonna do. He doing it. Everything. But he didn't say he was gonna be trafficking children. He left that out, didn't he? Dolores, he wasn't the only one. Trump was involved in that too. Trump was involved with trafficking. Yeah.
No, you're not here to
they
say
were
I
in
told you
business
so.
together.
But would you like to?
But let me just say this. You are correct that I did predict a lot of it. But Stephen, what I did not predict was the capitulation. I didn't predict that.
That's a hard pill to swallow.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. And perhaps it's naive.
He ain't never been for the people.
Someone who has seen a lot that most people haven't seen, but I believed that on some level, there should be many who consider themselves to be guardians of our system and our democracy who just capitulated. And
I don't think they can censor it. We're not.
I will always.
I think that they will. The Department of Justice will. I think the Senate and Congress, who's trying to get the original, the special committee, I don't think they are going to. They're going to censor the victims, but I don't think that they're going to censor the predators. That's why they are insistent on getting the copy themselves. You know, let the Department of Defense, because now you can't even trust the Department of Defense. And they know that. When he had the beauty pageant for teens, I always thought, yeah, he bragged about that. He bragged about it, just like he bragged about aping that lady who he owes $86 million that they say he is not protected. He is not protected. He don't get special pay. AunTeaFee, the real truth is both political parties are on it. Yeah, but let me say this, Dwayne. Let's just be realistic. Only person he really named was Bill Clinton. And I'm sure that there are others. I think I seen Al Gore, but as far as being on the island up to no good. But once they reviewed, the Department of Justice reviewed it, I am willing to bet you that there are more people in his party that he is protecting versus the other party. He's not protecting the Democrats. No, sir. No, sir. He's not saying forget about it. Can we just move on? We're not going to pursue it. We're not going to move forward with anything. You know, we looked over it and, you know, there's nothing. Yeah, we're not moving forward. Yeah. He ain't doing that for the Democrats. No, sir. No, sir. No. He is protecting his interests. Period. He don't care. He don't even care about the victims. So we know he wouldn't care about what Democrats. And then he's still lying in the people's face saying that this is a witch hunt brought on by the Democrats, which you are the ones who brought it up. And then on the flip side, you'll say, well, you know, they had these documents for 4 years and did nothing with. They absolutely, they didn't say anything about it. You brought this up. So how's it a witch hunt? How is this a fake hoax brought on by them and they didn't do nothing with it? So did they do something with it or did they not do something with it? Is it a hoax? Or is it, so if it's a hoax, why did you move GHISLAINE Maxwell? Huh? I mean, so make up your mind, cause you losing yours is making it seem like we're crazy. Now, is it a hoax that was brought on by the Democrats? Or did they have it and didn't do nothing with it? Because we heard it come out your mouth, sir. It was important to you. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I believe he is protecting his best in Israel. Yes, sir. I ran across that too. I ran across. Well, hold on. Since you brought up Israel, I mean, I've been. Some things came up today. I should have marked it. Oh my goodness. I should have marked it. I forwarded it to myself, but I don't think I marked it. But Israel did come up today with how broke he was and who bailed him out. Let that sink in. The debt he was in and who bailed him out, which would make sense with, yeah. Hold on, did I mark it? I know I forwarded to myself, but did I mark it? Hold on. Interesting that you brought up Israel. Oh yeah, they talking about no cameras at the new prison. Is this it? No, that's that man that went off on Trump. Hold on.
Israel will have an absolute enormous amount on Trump. He was so bankrupt, in for $1 billion. Wilbur Ross came in, still working for the Rothschilds at the time, organized 72 banks to bail out Trump. Trump is who Trump is because of that bailout. Sheldon Adelson and Miriam Adelson have given him $100 million for this election campaign. The strings of this, Donnie, moved the US Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Done. The Golan Heights of Syria becoming Israeli territory. Done. There's a location in Golan Heights now called Trump Heights in appreciation. Part of that agreement, this has been reported in the Jewish press, Trump at some point in his presidency will sanction the Israeli annexation of the West Bank. They've got most of it now anyway. And so you've got the blackmail, you've got the fact that he's beholden to them because they saved his backside, and you put that lot together, and it's no surprise, is it, that he does whatever Israel tells him. The deep state wasn't vanquished when Trump came to power. It just changed its personnel. Israel will have an absolute enormous amount on Trump. He was so bankrupt, in for $1 billion. Wilbur Ross came in, still working for the Rothschilds at the time, organized 72 banks to bail out Trump. Trump is who Trump is because of that bailout. Sheldon Adelson and Miriam Adelson has given him $100 million for this election campaign.
Hey, Pete.
The strings of this, Donnie, moved the US Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Done. The Golan Heights of Syria becoming Israeli territory. Done. There's a location in Golan Heights now called Trump Heights in appreciation. Part of that agreement, this has been reported in the Jewish press, Trump at some point in his presidency will sanction the Israeli annexation of the West Bank. They've got most of it now anyway. And so you've got the blackmail, you've got the fact that he's beholden to them because they saved his backside, and you put that lot together, and it's no surprise, is it, that he does whatever Israel tells him. The deep state wasn't vanquished when Trump came to power. It just changed its personnel.
I don't know anything about loose ends.
Israel will have an absolute...
So you see where I was at with it today, Dwayne? So it was interesting that you said that. Let me see what else I touched. I don't know who Eugene from the group Loose Ends was put into ICE custody. No. I don't know. I didn't know anything about that.
Now, Epstein's explanation for why this friendship ended is as follows. In 2004, Epstein believed himself to be the high bidder on a piece of real estate in Palm Beach, a house. $36 million was his bid. He took his friend Trump around to see the house to advise him on how to move the swimming pool. Trump, thereupon, went around Epstein's back and bid $40 million for the house and got the property. Epstein, who was well acquainted, in fact, deeply involved with Trump's scattered finances, understood that he didn't have $40 million to pay for this house. Now, if that was the case, it was someone else's $40 million. At the time, Epstein believed this to be the $40 million of a Russian oligarch by the name of Rybolat. Less than 2 years later, this same house that Trump had bought for $40 million was sold for $95 million. And it was, in fact, sold to Mr. Rybolat. This is all a red flag of money laundering. And what Epstein did, and he was furious about losing this house. Epstein, after the sale of this house,
So when he came up with that, it's about Pete, the girl he stole, he just, that ain't why they fell out. Nah, we ain't saying, well, we know that's not, because he spoke highly of him after that, right? Why he really fell out was about this real estate right here. And he knew that he was in debt. Yeah.
After Trump went around his back, got this house, Epstein began to threaten him. He began to threaten him with lawsuits. He began to threaten him with going to the press and saying that Trump was a front man for a money laundering deal. Trump panics at this point, and Epstein believed, and he believed to his dying day, that it was Trump who went to the police, Trump who was fully acquainted with what was going on at Epstein's house, fully acquainted for many years. Trump went to the police and, as Epstein said, dropped the dime on him. That is to say, informed the police of what was going on, and an investigation began, and all of Epstein's legal problems for the next 15 years began to unfold. This story about this piece of real estate.
There we go. Does it make sense, y'all? Makes sense? Makes real good sense. Let's listen what I got here.
Epstein's explanation for why this friendship ended is as follows. In 2004, Epstein believed himself to be the high bidder on a piece of real estate in Palm Beach, a house. $36 million was his bid. He took his friend Trump around to see the house to advise him on how to move the swimming pool. Trump thereupon went around Epstein's back and bid $40 million for the house and got the property. Epstein, who was well acquainted, in fact, deeply involved with Trump's scattered finances, understood that he didn't have $40 million to pay for this house. Now, if that was the case, it was someone else's $40 million. At the time, Epstein believed this to be the $40 million of a Russian oligarch by the name of Rybolat. Less than 2 years later, this same house that Trump had bought for $40 million was sold for $95 million. It was, in fact, sold.
I don't know why he trusted a real estate investor anyway, who would be able to look at the house, assess it, and see the money that could have been made. He was born and raised in real estate investment. Yeah, you can't trust him.
To Mr. Rybolat. This is all a red flag of money laundering. And what Epstein did, and he was furious about this house. Epstein, after the sale of this house, after Trump went around his back, got this house, Epstein began to threaten him. He began to threaten him with lawsuits. He began to threaten him with going to the press and saying that Trump was a front man for a money laundering deal. Trump panics at this point, and Epstein believed, and he believed to his dying day, that it was Trump who went to the police. Trump who was fully acquainted with what was going on at Epstein's house, fully acquainted for many years. Trump went to the police and, as Epstein said, drop the dime.
So he threatened him. That would make sense as to why he was prosecuted up under Trump. Because the same way he trying to ward off other people, he could have warded it off then and covered it up. But Epstein was threatening him, threatening to expose him, just like his first wife was threatening to expose some things, and she slipped and fell down the stairs and passed away. You know, I just know a narcissist. To expose a narcissist is just like putting a bag on your own head. That's just my opinion. And thinking about what I was saying yesterday about Diddy, I felt like, you know, Diddy got antsy, and probably I teased and said he sent a kite to Trump that he had some videos of him and some of them freak offs, and then all of a sudden he came out verbally and clowned Diddy. Now I don't know if he gonna change his mind, but he damn sure clowned him and
But
said,
let's talk a little bit about
no.
what we do know about Dershowitz.
Right?
Let's talk.
Simpsons predict
I
that
don't know
Donald.
what
But let's talk a little bit about what we do know.
Dang, I had this right here and
Just
touched
called
it.
for, I will shut down
What? Wait a minute.
government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You said
okay,
it.
you want to put that
You
on my
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And I am
Disagree.
proud.
You have called for, I will
Where
shut
was
down the
this?
government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
Was this
Okay,
must have been a long time
You
ago.
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And I am
Disagree.
proud.
You have called for,
Where
I will
was
shut
this?
down the government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You said
okay,
it.
you want to put that on
You
my
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military,
A couple
through
of
anything
weeks
you
ago,
want to
4
call,
weeks ago,
I
ladies
will
and
shut
gentlemen,
down
this
the
is the
government.
result of a
Absolutely. And I
child
am
who
proud.
was spoiled and
I
never
will shut
told
down
by
the
his
government if I
parents
don't get my
no.
will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You said it.
okay, you want to put that on my
4 weeks
I'll
ago.
take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay.
Oh
Absolutely.
Lord, this
And I
came
am
up by
proud.
accident,
I
y'all.
will shut down the government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You said it.
okay, you want to put that on
You
my
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And I am
Disagree.
proud.
You have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You said
okay,
it.
you want to put that on
You
my
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And I am
Disagree.
proud.
You have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You said it.
okay, you want to put that on
You
my
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And I am
Disagree.
proud.
You have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my will. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You said it.
okay, you want to put that on
You
my
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say?
Y'all,
If we don't get what we want,
it's my way or no way. Let's see how it goes with Russia. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. It seemed like them countries is plotting. They coming together, and we are gonna be the ones that suffer. Now I know they say he got 40K on his head. I don't know, but I think that they are going to come together and make an example out of him. And I had something else right here and accidentally touched it, baby, and then that popped up.
But let's talk a little bit about what we
And
did
I
and
can't
found
even
out
find
George
what I
Floyd
had.
wasn't.
Lord have mercy. Let me get on.
You're a piece of shit.
All right, here's the
Hollywood. Update today on Epstein. Go show. Hollywood. Update today on Epstein. Go showing a photo.
So you have, so the,
Yeah, I mean,
so the larger the
Update today on Epstein. Go showing a photo of him at Disney. He's sitting down at the table. Piglet's behind him. It's him and another guy sitting down. And
we
this
don't even
guy's
want to
holding
talk
a
about
girl,
Disney
like,
right now.
arms like this. That same girl is in a.
I mean, are y'all ready for Disney? How they had, I tried to mention, hey Santos, how I tried to mention that old girl had a network partnership with Disney, and they was funneling babies and stuff through Disney.
Another photo with Epstein. They're on the plane. She's like she's sleeping. She's laying down and he's holding her like this. Then, come to find out, Disney sent kids to his island.
Disney sent kids to Epstein's island. The story of Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, which one of them? Disney and Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. I made mention that GHISLAINE, I don't want to know what her title was. I don't like that music that's playing. I feel like y'all, it's just so much. That's why I was trying to explain to y'all. I don't like this music.
Snorkeling trips for like 9 years.
So I guess one of the excursions by way of Disney was snorkeling, and they had it set up to send the kids to snorkeling to the Epstein Island. Yeah, Miss Tom said get the likes up before AunTeaFee talking about shutting it down. And when I looked at it, yeah. So y'all see Miss Tom down there? Thumbs up, please, and subscribe, please. The tea is hot. The late night tea is hot, baby. So are we clear on this one right here that Epstein was threatening Trump because of the real estate? He showed him and told him about an investment property. Trump outbid him with money that he did not have.
Dime on him. That is to say, informed the police of what was going on, and an investigation began, and all of Epstein's legal problems for the next 15 years began to unfold. This story...
He set him up. Well, I mean, good, but what he left out of it was that he was involved.
About this piece of real estate and their falling out was first published in June 2019. It was published actually in my book, Siege, the second book I had written about the Trump White House. Epstein had recounted this story to me. I put it in this book. Epstein at that moment was in Paris. He read the book. He called me with some alarm, and he said he was afraid he might have said too much. 3 weeks later, he returned to the United States from Paris and was promptly arrested on the tarmac of Teterboro Airport in New Jersey when his plane landed. Now,
so that's the real reason why they friendship. He outbidded him on the property that he told him about. They fell out. Epstein threatened him. Threatened to expose some things because he knew that he could not afford that property, so he was laundering money. And he threatened him. And then Trump went to the laws and exposed his human trafficking of minors. He just left himself out of the equation. Makes sense. Makes all the sense in the world to me. Let's go over. Let me see what else I got. Y'all, come on, get the likes up as Mrs. Tom has asked us, so that we won't have to stall. I'm an hour in, and we want to keep moving forward. You can send a super chat, super sticker, Cash App. Is my Cash App pin? I'm constantly bringing tea, and I'm not getting the support that I deserve. I kind of feel a little used, like y'all trying to pimp me out like Diddy and Trump. Please don't pimp me. Don't pimp me. Yeah, don't do that. Support the platform. There we go, right there. Yeah, I'm gonna pin it to the top. Yeah. Don't just be a user. Don't just take all my cookies. Woo! What does this one say? Hold on.
Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking those young women, including Virginia?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news.
That was Donald Trump today. The Epstein files are not gonna go away. But first off, this story of his that Epstein stole teenage girls from his spa. You know, we don't know if that's true. Trump has a very fertile imagination and is not right in the head. Regardless of whether it's true or not, his statement that he didn't know what Epstein was up to, that definitely is a lie. And I'll tell you why. Donald Trump was best buddies with Jeffrey Epstein for well over a decade. He even admitted that Epstein liked him on the younger side. You're not hanging with Jeffrey Epstein for well over a decade without knowing what he's up to with teenage girls. That just does not compute. And Donald Trump wasn't the only one who knew. Many other prominent men knew. We'll get to that in a bit. Donald Trump not only knew of this criminal activity, he likely participated. Trump has zero impulse control, has stated he's grabbed women by the you-know-what, and women have publicly testified at the terrible stuff he's done. And he sought out teen girls underage in his beauty contests, in his modeling agency, and at his spa, Mar-a-Lago. You don't spend all that time seeking out teenage girls if you're Donald Trump without expecting something. You're not doing it just to help them. So it's almost certain that Donald Trump knew of this activity and highly likely that he participated in it. But here's a key point. He's not the only one. He's not the only one beyond Jeffrey Epstein. Over 1,000 teenage girls were abused, and Todd Blanche, when he recently interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell, Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, former personal lawyer of Donald Trump, asked about 100 names. 100 names. That's a lot of names. Names of prominent men in these Epstein files. Did every one of them know what Jeffrey Epstein was up to? No, not likely. But it's likely that dozens did. Dozens is my guess. I think that's a good guess. And how many participated? More than Jeffrey Epstein, more than Donald Trump. Another dozen. Because the rich don't believe that rules apply to them. According to a recent poll, 86% of the public want these files released. We're not united on anything else to this level. But do prominent people, not just Trump, want these files released? No. It's going to be an uphill battle to get to the truth.
Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking those young women, including Virginia?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news.
That was Donald Trump today. The Epstein files are not gonna go away. But first off, this story of his that Epstein stole teenage girls from his spa. You know, we don't know if that's true. Trump has a very fertile imagination and is not right in the head. Regardless of whether it's true or not, his statement that he didn't know what Epstein was up to, that definitely is a lie. And I'll tell you why. Donald Trump was best buddies with Jeffrey Epstein for well over a decade. He even admitted that Epstein liked him on the younger side. You're not hanging with Jeffrey Epstein for well over a decade without knowing what he's up to with teenage girls. That just does not compute. And Donald Trump wasn't the only one who knew. Many other prominent men knew. We'll get to that in a bit. Donald Trump not only knew of this criminal activity, he likely participated. Trump has zero impulse control, has stated he's grabbed women by the you-know-what, and women have publicly testified at the terrible stuff he's done. And he sought out teen girls underage in his beauty contest, in his modeling agency, and at his spa, Mar-a-Lago. You don't spend all that time seeking out teenage girls if you're Donald Trump without expecting something. You're not doing it just to help them. Though it's almost certain that Donald Trump knew of this activity and highly likely that he participated in it. But here's a key point. He's not the only one. He's not the only one beyond Jeffrey Epstein. Over 1,000 teenage girls were abused, and Todd Blanche, when he recently interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell, Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, former personal lawyer of Donald Trump, asked about 100 names. 100 names. That's a lot of names. Names of prominent men in these Epstein files. Did every one of them know what Jeffrey Epstein was up to? No, not likely. But it's likely that dozens did. Dozens is my guess. I think that's a good guess. And how many participated? More than Jeffrey Epstein. More than Donald Trump. Another dozen. Because the rich don't believe that rules apply to them. According to a recent poll, 86% of the public want these files released. We're not united on anything else to this level. But do prominent people, not just Trump, want these files released? No. It's going to be an uphill battle to get to the truth.
Oh, wow.
Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking these young women, including...
Parents are friends of mine, and you know, the first time I saw she walked into the room, he said, "Who the hell is that?" Did you want to bang her? A lot of people don't give credit to.
Oh, he's on the list.
Sexuality is really beautiful. Really beautiful is Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton. And
oh yeah, he on the list.
She's 12. Her parents are friends of mine, and you know, the first time I saw she walked into the room, he said, "Who the hell is that?" Did you want to bang her? A lot of people don't give credit to, but in actuality, is really beautiful is Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton. And I've known Paris Hilton from the time she's 12. She's hot. Her parents are friends of mine, and you know, the first time I saw she walked into the room, he said, "Who the hell is that?"
When she was a little girl, the first time she walked into the room, she was a little girl.
Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton. And I've known Paris Hilton from the time she's 12. She's hot. Her parents are friends of mine, and you know, the first time I saw she walked into the room, he said, "Who the hell is that?" Did you want to bang her? A lot of people don't give credit to, but in actuality, is really beautiful is Paris Hilton.
12 years old.
Paris Hilton. And I've known Paris Hilton from the time she's 12. She's hot. Her parents are friends of mine, and you know, the first time I saw she walked into the room, he said, "Who the hell is that?"
First time I saw her, she walked into the room. I said, "Who the hell is that?" She was 12 years old.
The CBS News investigation raising some new questions about this video. You will recall.
Yeah, it's just so much. And the problem right now is a lot of stuff that had not been released before is popping up now. After GHISLAINE. What's the I don't know what that is. Hello, T. I don't know what that is. Hold on. Helion. I don't know what you're trying to say.
I told you they are going to kill her. It was just announced that Ghislaine Maxwell has been moved to a low security prison after meeting with the DOJ. But here's the kicker. This prison prohibits cameras and other recording devices. Now they don't have to worry about anybody going back and analyzing the footage. Most people believe this is a sign that Ghislaine is about to cut a deal with the feds, get a pardon, and get out of the clink. But this new prison that she's been moved to is dormitory housing, relatively low staff to inmate ratio, limited or no perimeter fencing. So I don't know, maybe she'll escape and we'll never know where she went. So if you were in Vegas and you were placing a bet, how do you think this whole thing is going to shake out? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below. I told you they are going to kill her. It was just announced that Ghislaine Maxwell has been
I don't
moved
know
to
if they're
a
going.
low-security prison after
Okay, hold
meeting
on.
with the DOJ. But here,
I think there's a possibility that they're gonna have another unalive where they say she took her own life, I guess, and they're gonna again will be and I think that they're gonna put her ass back to work just like Epstein, maybe, possibly, on one of them out the country somewhere where they have that resort golf hotel that is really a cover for human trafficking. That's what I think. Now, what was this one? Hold on.
Somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and
this was horrible.
Which I was trying to say this to my friends.
Oh, I don't know if I can play this. I don't know if I can play this. I don't know if I can play it. But this was mind-blowing to me, as well as, okay, Oprah. Okay, Oprah. I got my eye on you. What, Connie, what prison sounds bad? Where they moved her to in Bryan, Texas? No. No. Yeah, those type of questions like that, Sutra, you have to put that on a super chat or super sticker. That has to come with support of the platform for me to answer questions like that on items that I done research on. So put that question on a super chat or super sticker. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry. This guy right here was...
Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I want to start out by saying this. He was caught cheating on video on the golf course. He cheated on his taxes. He cheated on his business loans. He cheated on his wives. He cheated on the business contractors that he stiffed through 40 years of business. And he tried to cheat in the 2020 election. Now he's trying to cheat and win this 2026 midterm election because he knows he can't win. He has ordered Governor Greg Abbott to obey his command and cheat on the Texas redistricting scam to gerrymander 5 new, grossly and illegally drawn House districts. We are here because Texas is the first state under assault. If Texas House Republicans bow down to Trump like Abbott did, the other red states will follow. And if they do that, then America will be under assault. To me, House Republicans, in this case, are like a bunch of buzzards on the fence, waiting to swoop down on a dying carcass of democracy and feed on that. America is a democratic republic, and it's being dismantled daily by Donald Trump. Every single House Republican is under assault by Trump and Abbott. They are telling you that your integrity, your honor, and your duty is for sale. And he is the buyer. And if you obey, you will be rewarded by not being primaried. And if you stand up to him and say no, you will be punished and primaried. And it's that diabolical, it's that simple. In other words, and I don't say this lightly, in other words, he's asking each of you to be one, pardon this word, I mean in a philosophical way, not a sexual way, but he's asking every one of the Republican representatives in this room to be one of his prostitutes. And I believe that.
So he
Thank
pimping.
you for this opportunity to speak. I want to start out by saying this.
All right, Pops. I can dig it. He laid it online, didn't he? He said he pimping y'all out. Let's see what this one is. I mean, since we're here.
So from the Diddy case to the Epstein case, Senator Ron Wyden said, big news from my investigators on the Epstein sex trafficking operation. The Trump administration has an Epstein file detailing 4,725 wire transfers
no
and
sugar.
almost $1.1 billion flowing through just one of Epstein's banks. Now keep in mind, the deceased Jeffrey Epstein's banks are still operating, and $1.1 billion is going back and forth through them. Now that's just one account. I mean, there's hundreds of millions going through others. Now, when you ask yourself what happened in that 3 minutes that's missing from the Epstein tape, you know what I mean? I mean, this is just like Watergate. I mean, it's this generation's Watergate. The Trump administration claims it doesn't have enough evidence to investigate. If you ask me, that's 4,725
right, so Traff, I'm with you now.
And that should just be the start of it. Epstein had to pay for all of his sex trafficking somehow. Further evidence shows he used Russian banks to process hundreds of millions.
It's still active.
Again, this info is in possession of the Trump administration, but they're refusing to investigate, and it's current, so they can't say, like, you know, it's Biden or this or that. I mean,
no, because it's still going on right now in the foreign countries.
Flowing in and out of the dead guys. You know what I mean? Story developing. So from the Diddy case to the Epstein case,
it's still going on right now.
Senator Ron Wyden said, big news from my investigators on the Epstein sex trafficking operation. The Trump administration has an Epstein file detailing 4,725 wire transfers and almost $1.1 billion flowing through just one of Epstein's
I'm sure
banks.
it's some transaction that is tied to
Jeffrey
Trump.
Epstein's banks are still operating, and $1.1 billion is going back and forth through them. Now that's just one account. I mean, there's hundreds of millions going through others. Now, when you ask yourself what happened in that 3 minutes that's missing from the Epstein tape,
on Bill Barr's watch,
just like Watergate. I mean, it's this generation's Watergate.
Bill Barr's watch
doesn't have enough evidence to investigate. If you ask me, that's 4,725 lines of investigation right there, and that should just be the start of it. Epstein had to pay for all of his sex trafficking somehow. Further evidence shows he used Russian banks to process hundreds of millions in payments. Again, this.
What else I got? Oh yeah, this blew my mind right here too.
It's not looking too good right now because
whoa,
Lawrence Taylor is a registered sex offender. It's proof. It's not me trying to on him, but he's a registered sex offender and he wants to get into fitness with kids. What are we doing, man? You know who Lawrence Taylor is? Lawrence Taylor is one of the greatest linebackers in NFL history. That is facts. You can see his footage. Lawrence Taylor is one of the baddest dudes for the New York Giants. You know, you got your Ray Lewis's, right? Your Mike Singletary's. You got a lot of great linebackers. But let me tell you something. Lawrence Taylor, registered sex offender. And now he's working for Trump. And
He's in
cabinet
this
member.
conference room, and he gets on, and Trump's like, come here, he's a little shy, he's a little shy.
He didn't even know nothing about it.
He's a little shy, but once he gets going, nobody can stop.
I know that don't stop.
And he goes up there and he goes,
He didn't even know.
I don't know why the fuck I'm here.
I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing.
He still got his little dangling earring, you know, that little 70s gang earring.
He didn't even know. Trump just threw him in there, gave him a job. He on the cabinet, convicted felon and registered ex-offender. Okay?
He called me. I didn't know what I was minding my damn business. I don't know what I'm doing. He don't even know why he's there.
He don't even know why he's there.
Who's standing behind him is the husband of Stephanie McMahon, who's the daughter of Vince McMahon, who's also caught in some sex trafficking with underage boys. What?
Oh, he and there just having a cabinet full of ex-offenders. Is that what's going on right now? What in the world is going on? Yeah, my eyes is big. I'm like, whoa. What? And you could tell Lawrence Taylor didn't have no idea. So he done made that up, called him up, and he don't. He's a he do that. Oh, he's the president. He can override all of that. Is that what you're telling me? He runs, the Department of Justice works for him. So forget the list. Take him off the list. I'm supposed to be registered. I'm not putting my name on it. Nobody who's going to tell me what to do. I'm above the law. I'm Donald Trump. I am the law. Okay, y'all.
And Donald decides this will be perfect for children, to put people who are sex offenders and sex traffickers. Is Lawrence Taylor suffering from CTE, or is Donald Trump suffering from CTE? Because there's a lot of brain damage going on and some sick going on. Even if you are a Trump supporter, you let me know if this sounds right. Just like you put Robert Kennedy Jr. head of health, and I think I could do the health thing. What the f are we doing, yo? It's not looking too good right now.
My health is bad, but I think I can help you with the health.
Lawrence Taylor's a registered sex offender. It's proof. It's not me trying to on him, but he's a registered sex offender, and he wants to get into fitness with kids. What are we doing, man? If you don't know who Lawrence Taylor is one of the greatest linebackers in.
Yeah, are y'all getting a good picture of what's going on? Let me see what else I got. I had some good stuff over here for you, didn't I? Let's see this one. I don't know about the music. Who was that? Yeah, this that Disney stuff. The more you go down the rabbit hole, the more people are connected to it. Disney was trafficking children for the elite. Maxwell put on a front that she was saving kids. Yep, she was a part of an organization for saving kids, but was trafficking them. She worked for Disney. Yeah, I don't know about this music. Hold on, there was another one the other day that mentioned that Disney that I was going to show y'all. But listen to this one. I know it's, now this I've learned about. Okay, the Disney security guard was arrested in December for being a key player in a massive human trafficking sting in Florida. It says authorities arrested more than 100 people back in December of 2019. That was that era, right? Doing an undercover sting that targeted prostitution, human trafficking, and child PDFers in Polk County, including a pastor and a high-level Disney World security guard. So it says everything is connected. Epstein, Disney, Oprah, Hillary Clinton, their foundation, Maxwell, CIA, FBI, Red Cross, and the list goes on.
And then there's Paul Val. He's 40 from Davenport. He's married. He works at Disney World at Cosmic Ray's restaurant. In fact, he just recently moved to Polk County from Indiana, and he moved here specifically to work at Disney World. Well, you know, back in the day, they arrested Willie Sutton for robbing banks. He was a notorious bank robber. And they asked Willie Sutton, "Hey, Willie, why do you rob banks?" And he said, "Well, that's where the money is." Well, why do people like Paul Val work at Disney? Because that's where the children
That's where the children are.
And they want to be around children. He had 540 counts of child pornography from newborns to 8 years of age.
Yeah, some of this we're not going to be able to listen to.
And he was a sadomasochist. There was photographs where they had tied up babies.
They had tied up, yeah. Minor, very minors. Newly, yeah.
A very young child with her hand
How does, yeah, tied behind their back, hands.
His wife asked, she's only been married to him for a year, "Did I marry a monster?" "Yes, you did. You married a monster." By the way, when we kicked the door in, he came to the door nude. Think about this for a minute.
He worked at Disney.
Photographs of children behind their back.
Yeah, this is maddening. This is extremely, yeah. This is a big deal. Y'all, please get the likes up. Double tap your screen. Horrible. Yeah, I don't know about the music. figure out a way to play that without the music. Hold on. So hold on, let me. Yeah, this not gonna work. Hold on, I have to do that another way, another day. Let's see the other one, cause I don't know about the music. It says. Oh, yeah. Let's see if there's music on this one. Yeah. So here recently, let me see the date on here. I don't know why this is acting like this now. Hold on. So here, they found the underground bunker. Alleged trafficking ring was recently uncovered in Brent, Alabama, located in Bibb County. Authorities discovered the underground bunker near a home where at least 10 children ranging from 3 to 15 were allegedly abused as part of their operation. Thank God they were rescued. Thank God they were rescued. Let me see. Thank God they were rescued.
A pedophile. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either. Spielberg is a pedophile. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also... Spielberg is a pedophile. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either,
Isaac Cappy.
who is also a pedophile. There's this girl, Sarah Ruth Ashcraft.
It keeps getting darker and darker.
Has been accusing Tom Hanks of raping her when she was 13.
You right, Sylvia.
Her dad sold her to Tom Hanks. This is so rampant. It is so bad. But watch for the symbolism, because these people out themselves with the symbols. The very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho. Look into the Rothschild family. You heard it's cannibals. Yeah, there is cannibalism. The higher you go, the more sick it gets. A lot of people are kind of born into this. They grow up in it. They are abused. And through the...
Born into it. Born into it. Now, I can see that with GHISLAINE. I can see that with Trump. I don't know a lot about the Epstein, but that headmaster, but the Barr, Donald Barr, Bill Barr daddy, yeah. But when he said born into it,
is a pedophile.
oh
Spielberg
Lord,
is
a pedophile. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. There's this girl, Sarah Ruth
Allegedly.
Ashcraft, on Twitter, who has been accusing Tom Hanks of raping her.
Y'all
when she
get the
was
likes
13.
up,
Her dad
please.
sold her to Tom Hanks. It is so rampant. It is so bad. But watch for the symbolism, because these people out themselves with the symbols. At the very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho. Look into the Rothschild family. You heard it's cannibals. Yeah, there is cannibalism. The higher you go, the more sick it gets. A lot of people are kind of born into this. They grow up in it. They are abused. And through the abuse, especially as a child, you can break someone's subconscious mind. Look into MK Ultra. It's music, it's film, it's art. Look into Marina Abramovich. Is Oprah a pedophile? Well, let's see. Hanks, Weinstein, I mean, the company she keeps, as rich as she is, I have a feeling she is very high up in the cult. And this, make no mistake, this is a cult. There is a widespread cult that is worldwide, and it's fucking bad. Spielberg is a pedophile.
I guess I'm giving y'all too much good tea tonight because y'all not getting my likes up. I mean, y'all not getting them up. I'm finna have to shut it down. Yes, indeed, Haunty. Yes, indeed. The tea is hot. The tea is hot. Huh? Hello? Hello? Is the tea hot? I mean, I'm sitting here with my mouth like, this is way too much. This is just way too much. Let me see if anything. What was this over here?
This jail cell in 2019, and it was ruled a suicide. Recently, the Justice Department released security video from the jail. One official called it raw footage.
Yeah, I just need to understand why he had so many orange sheets in his room. Okay, so 50K people booed him. Oh yeah, he got booed tonight. The WWE event. He shouldn't have been there. Federal officials launched the investigation. Let me see. Before I go, since y'all don't want to hit my like button. Lively subpoena question. That's the inner city guy. Hold on. I'm trying to see if it's just anything that was mind-blowing that has happened since we have been over there. Let's see. Gloves off. Trump gets unwelcome surprise by top. Let's see. What's this?
I'm joined now by the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore. Thanks for joining me.
Of course, man. It's my pleasure.
So I wanted to talk to you because I've spoken to a lot of governors in states across the country. Spoken with Governor Newsom, spoken with Governor Pritzker, Governor Hochul. Right now we are watching Republicans yet again gerrymander the state of Texas even further. They're in the midst of the special legislative session right now. This is on the back of Republicans already having gerrymandered into oblivion North Carolina, Ohio, Wisconsin, Utah, Florida, Texas the first time. And so this is a moment where I think finally Democrats are recognizing that we have to fight fire with fire. We don't have that many states that serve as weapons for the left to counteract what Republicans are doing on the right. And so given the fact that you are in a state that is fully under Democratic control, what weapons do we have at your disposal and what can you commit to doing to counteract what they're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we just continue seeing how their ability and the only thought that they have about how to win elections is actually to change the rules. That we are continually having to fight against their ability to keep people from voting, from restricting voting rights. And so now this is just another very...
I don't need no stinking crackers. Hey, my name is Mark Cuban, and this is...
bold and very blatant attempts for them to be able to alter the rules so they can try more elections, particularly because they're going to have an impossible time trying to justify to the American people why they passed this bill that literally just was a gift to millionaires and hosed everybody else. And so, you know, the thing that we know is that when you're looking at the rules for redistricting that have taken place before, that we have created an entire country where, frankly, we have, you know, where the majority of the races are not competitive, where people really are, where you have representatives oftentimes that are picking their voters and not voters who are picking their representatives. And so there has to be a way of being able to come up with a fair way of thinking about redistricting. But what they are talking about doing in Texas is not that. What they're talking about doing in Texas is literally just trying to change the rules so you can try to win more elections. That's not fair redistricting. And so I do think it's important for all of us, and you know, for Maryland included, where I know we are looking at all options as well, to be able to say, yeah.
Oh, they had.
Trump's all-cap tweet says it all. In a fit of rage, Trump threw in the towel, sent Republicans home, and was unable to do the basic work of negotiating. Is this the art of the deal? Posture? Cajole? Stamp your feet and then give up? This says it all. Donald Trump tried to bully us, go around us, threaten us, call us names, but he got nothing. And he walked away with his tail between his legs.
This is 8/2/25. Told him to go to hell. Chuck Schumer. He told him to go to hell. They was fighting today. Outbursts came. Tense. Senate was prepared to recess after failing to break the deadlock. Negotiate. Oh, they was going at it today?
Obviously, the two sides disagree on a whole lot of things. But we were serious about trying to make some progress. But ultimately, Trump wouldn't agree. He took his ball, he went home, leaving Democrats and Republicans alike wondering what the hell happened. Trump's all-cap tweet says it all. In a fit of rage, Trump threw in the towel, sent Republicans home, and was unable to do the basic work of negotiating. Is this the art of the deal? Posture? Cajole? Stamp your feet and then give up? This says it all.
If you look at the polling,
Donald Trump tried to bully us, go around us, threaten us, call us names, but he got nothing.
So
and he
we
walked
care
away
about housing,
with his
the
tail
cost of
between
living,
his
the cost of food and groceries, but on our list can also be the Epstein list, you know?
So, Mr. President, This morning, we got some more troublesome news about the economy under Donald Trump. Today, we learned the economy added only 73,000 jobs last month, far below expectations. But that wasn't the worst of it. We also learned the economy actually added less than 20,000 jobs each in May and June, the 2 months following Donald Trump's Liberation Day. That's more than 250,000 fewer jobs than originally thought. Let me say that again. We learned this morning that the economy actually added over 250,000 fewer jobs than originally thought. We also learned that unemployment has gone up. It is disturbing to say, but the chickens are coming home to roost on Donald Trump's destructive trade war, and the American people are paying the price.
That is not what I was trying to do. Under federal special counsel. Please don't let me in go to hell. He brings it to the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. They have well described, I think, all the inappropriate actions that have been taken by the Justice Department, including recently with respect to the Deputy Attorney General, who had been Donald Trump's personal lawyer, conducting the secret interview with the Epstein associate Maxwell. And this is an important conversation to continue here on the Senate floor. We were here earlier this morning, where we discussed the very troubling and disturbing case of Jeffrey Epstein and the horrifying abuse of young women and girls. Those who were so terribly abused and treated deserve to have the full truth. They deserve to have all the facts come out, as do their loved ones, as do the American people, so the American people can have some kind of confidence that the department is presenting the American people with the truth, because we need transparency in order to ensure full accountability. It used to be the case that Donald Trump and his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and others in this administration said they wanted to get to the bottom of this. In fact, they said they wanted to release the Epstein files. But as we got closer to actually doing that, they suddenly decided that they did not want the public to know.
They started
and that
moonwalking,
they didn't want Epstein's victims.
They put on their best moonwalk.
And so now they've decided not to be forthcoming.
Nah, they don't want to now. I changed my mind.
What are they hiding? And that is why we took to the floor earlier today to say, release the damn Epstein files.
They hot, ain't they?
We've learned just in the last 48 hours that at some point along the way, the FBI redacted Trump's name from the Epstein files. We had learned that his name was very likely in those files, and we also know that the Trump administration asked the FBI to do a search of his name in the files. We now know that his name was redacted from those files at some point along the way by the FBI. As my colleagues from Rhode Island and California were just discussing, we've also witnessed in just the last week or two the highly inappropriate action of the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, to conduct a secret interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's partner
secret interview
in these crimes.
Did he say a secret interview?
When he was asked at his confirmation hearing before the Senate about whether he, Todd Blanche, to conduct a secret interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's partner in these crimes. And when he was asked at his confirmation hearing before the Senate about whether he had a continuing duty of loyalty and confidentiality to Donald Trump, his response was yes, as the former person. Of loyalty and confidentiality. His response was yes, as the former personal attorney of Donald Trump, he had an ongoing duty of loyalty and confidentiality. Clearly, that duty of loyalty and confidentiality to Donald Trump puts him in direct conflict with the interests of the truth and the people of the United States when it comes to President Trump. So it was highly inappropriate that he held that interview. As a senator from California just pointed out, he excluded from that interview lawyers that have been working on this case for a long time.
Absolutely.
It is also a fact by at least many reports that
keep it real.
Todd Blanche has a very close personal relationship with the lawyer for Ms. Maxwell. And so this thing stinks to high heaven. And one thing they should do is immediately release the transcripts of this secret interview that was just conducted. Release the transcripts. According to all reports, they gave Ghislaine Maxwell immunity, proffer immunity, for the purpose of her testimony. Nothing she said in that interview could be used against her. So release the interview transcript to the American people. Because Donald Trump's personal attorney should not be the one in the room conducting an interview with somebody who might have testimony that directly incriminates Donald Trump. We've also seen just in recent days the question floated about whether the President of the United States would pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. When President Trump was asked about that possibility, he acknowledged he had that power. As I said on this floor this morning, President Trump should immediately today announce that he will not use his pardon power to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year sentence for being a co-conspirator. President Trump should immediately today announce that he will not use his pardon power to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year sentence for being a co-conspirator in the abuse of young women and girls. What is clearly happening in plain view is very dangerous to our system of justice. What is clearly happening is the possibility that Ghislaine Maxwell and her lawyers are seeking a pardon in exchange for her giving the kind of testimony that would please President Trump. One of the families of the victim, of one of the victims, a family from Virginia, who lost their loved one to suicide in April, has said, President Trump, do not pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. And my understanding is that is clearly the sentiment of the other victims and their families. And so the president should today announce that he will never do that. Now, earlier this morning, Senator Merkley offered a resolution and asked unanimous consent on it to release the Epstein files. And we should do that immediately. That should be done immediately. Senator Durbin and I wrote to the Attorney General last week, urging her to do what she said she was going to do, which is release the files. But that was objected to on the Republican side.
I'm on him.
And I see Senator Barrasso on the floor, and when he objected to Senator Merkley this morning, this is what he said. He said, Senate Republicans included a provision to address this very issue in an appropriation bill that Democrats blocked earlier this week. This issue would have been addressed here on the United States Senate floor. Yet Senate Democrats came to the floor and objected to what was in this bill. Well, first of all, Mr. President, I should clarify the fact that it was not Senate Republicans who included that provision in the appropriations bill to require that the Justice Department retain all the records with regard to the Epstein files and that they answer certain questions regarding those files and provide those responses to Congress. It wasn't Senate Republicans. In fact, it was my amendment in the Senate Appropriations Committee on that very issue. I'm glad it did pass unanimously, and momentarily I'm going to ask for unanimous consent on the exact same provision that was adopted unanimously by the Senate Appropriations Committee, word for word. Now, it is true that that bill did not move forward here in the Senate. I'm not going to go on for the hours that would be required to talk about the provisions in the Commerce Science Justice Bill. Suffice it to say that there was another issue that we discussed for about an hour the other night regarding the fact that the Trump administration decided to seize, rescind, steal, whatever you want to call it, $1.4 billion that had been set aside for a secure FBI headquarters, and they decided to snatch that money away from the selected site and put it to another site. And my view is that wherever the FBI builds that new headquarters, it should be a secure site. So that was a disagreement that led to the fact that that bill did not proceed at this time. We also know, and Senator Barrasso knows well, that the appropriations bills take a very long time to wind their way through the Senate and the House, go through conference. And so really there's no reason to delay the provision in that bill that was unanimously adopted by the Senate Appropriations Committee, in which Senator Barrasso said this morning, Republicans included. Well, if it was included in that bill, we should do it right now. We should get it done right now. And I'm just going to, in closing, read this resolution because it's pretty straightforward, Mr. President. It says, in general, the Attorney General shall retain, preserve, and compile any records or evidence related to any investigation, prosecution, or incarceration of Jeffrey Epstein, and any service provided to victims identified in such investigation. Pretty straightforward. Retain the records. Don't destroy any evidence. It also called for a report, not later than 60 days after the date of enactment of this act. The Attorney General shall submit to the Subcommittee on Commerce, Justice, Science, and Related Agencies of the Committee of Appropriations of the Senate a report that includes information on the history of the Jeffrey Epstein case, which shall include 1, information regarding the 2008 non-prosecution agreement between Jeffrey Epstein and the Department of Justice. 2, information on victims and testimony by victims, including notification of victims under Section 3771 of Title 18 of the U.S. Code, the Crime Victims' Rights Act. 3, information on any investigation of a co-conspirator. 4, information on any internal review of misconduct findings by the Department of Justice related to any investigation related to Jeffrey Epstein. 5, the current status of any investigation into the financial and trafficking networks of Jeffrey Epstein. 6, an intelligence assessment of the financial ties and clients of Jeffrey Epstein and any connections between Jeffrey Epstein and the United States government or foreign governments. And 7, information on the oversight failures at the Metropolitan Correction Center in New York, New York. Finally, Section C, privacy protections. The Attorney General may redact the names and personally identified information of any victim from the report submitted to Congress under subsection B as necessary to protect privacy. That's it. I wanted to read it to all the members of the Senate so everyone knows exactly what they are voting for. It's straightforward. President Trump, Attorney General Bondi, do not destroy the evidence of the Epstein files, and within 60 days present this Senate with answers to questions regarding the case. That's what this amendment does. It's exactly the same as the amendment that passed unanimously with Republican and Democratic support out of the Appropriations Committee. The same provision that Senator Barrasso this morning said was a Republican proposal, so I hope all the Republicans will join us in supporting this measure. And with that, Mr. President, as if in legislative session and notwithstanding Rule 22, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of my bill at the desk, further that the bill be considered read 3 times and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there an objection?
Mr. President.
Majority Whip.
I object.
Objection is heard.
But
Senator from Oregon.
if I could just briefly, Mr. President.
The Senator from Maryland has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. I just briefly, because as I made clear, this was the very provision that Senator Barrasso this morning.
So what is he objecting to?
Republicans had supported, and he indicated that this was something that they wanted to see move forward. Well, that was this morning. Now it's 6 o'clock this evening. I don't know what changed. But the language is the same as what Senator Barrasso talked about this morning.
So why are
It's
you
the same
objecting?
as what Senate Appropriations Committee passed on a bipartisan basis. All of a sudden, when it comes time to actually get it done on the Senate floor, not just as part of an appropriations bill that's going to wind its way through this place for weeks or months, when it's time to actually get it done, Republicans are opposing the idea of transparency. I find that
wow,
shameful. I understand my colleague from Oregon, Senator Merkley, is interested in making some points and maybe asking some questions. I yield the floor.
Senator from Oregon.
Would my colleague from Maryland yield to a question? So if I understood your presentation right, this is word for word exactly the same, this bill.
Yeah, so
as
what
the
you objecting to?
You proposed in the appropriations meeting.
Yes, that is exactly right.
Well, I can tell you I read through it, and it looks like to me exactly the same. And we heard from our colleague from Wyoming that this was a Republican proposal, which you've clarified that actually you introduced it, but also observed that it was passed unanimously.
Right.
So I'm confused.
Let's go.
If my colleague from Wyoming liked it so much that he wanted to claim authorship, and he proceeded to say, we liked it so much we passed it unanimously, why is he objecting now to actually getting it passed?
Well, Senator Merkley, I didn't hear an explanation. I heard the objection. I've not heard the explanation for the objection, and I think it may be difficult to provide an explanation given the fact that the senator from Wyoming was here on the floor of the Senate earlier, as you and I have both pointed out. extolling the virtues of this amendment. And in fact, partially taking credit for it. Saying Republicans supported this and wanted it. But apparently that was this morning and now is now. And I suspect it's because when it was included in the appropriations bill, it's included in a vehicle that, as we've said, will wind its way through a long road of this process. Who knows how many people will try to take it out behind closed doors in conference.
Oh, wow.
And that's why we had an opportunity right now, in the light of day, here in the United States Senate, to actually pass this and send it off to the House immediately. And if they passed it, it could go to the president's desk.
And if you'd yield to another question.
Yes.
This seems extremely, well, minimal, that we're preserving the records. Earlier, we asked for a vote on a bill that would be complete disclosure because we believe that disclosure is merited given a set of extraordinary circumstances like President Trump dangling a potential pardon in front of Ms. Maxwell. Extraordinary circumstances like the FBI itself redacting Trump's name from documents. Extraordinary circumstances like the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche going and personally interviewing Ms. Maxwell and not taking along the lawyers who were experts in this case. And then just shortly after, she's transferred to a minimum security prison in Texas. In other words, rewarded in a powerful way. Big difference between a regular prison and a ministry. So we wanted disclosure, and I think America wants disclosure because they want to see people held accountable who perpetrated crimes, rape, against young girls. And yet, all you're asking for is to preserve the information, that it not be deleted or put into a shredder or put into a wood chipper. Is that right? Is that what you're asking for?
Well, that's the heart of the amendment. And again, I will read just the first sentence. The Attorney General shall retain, preserve, and compile any records or evidence related to
be able
any investigation,
to
prosecution,
manipulate
or incarceration of
the
Jeffrey
documents.
Epstein and any service provided to victims identified in such an investigation. It could not be clear. The amendment does ask for a report on other very relevant information regarding the Epstein case. But to your fundamental point here, this is simply a directive not to destroy evidence that could be in the Epstein files. As I said, we just learned, at least within the last 48 hours.
Okay, so listen. It's too late for people to be taking away their likes. Now, if you want to take away the likes, then just leave. Or better yet, maybe I need to shut it down, because that's very disrespectful to me.